Hello, this is Patrick Abeck. Welcome to this episode. Just a quick update on our assessment. We had over 700 women who thought their husbands had autistic traits take our assessment over the last year. And we've done over 100 interviews with these women. And fascinating things started to develop. One of the things of all the very interesting things is that men do not accept that they have autism, or even to phrase it as autistic traits. My wife, during COVID, so in 2020, when we were kind of brought into work together from our home, kind of noticed, oh, you have autistic traits. And then I looked into it and really, accepted the autism label, generally speaking, but still it kind of grinded on me a little bit. And then all of a sudden, all these with Asperger's, I'm like, oh, I think Asperger's outdated? Doesn't anybody use it anymore? Well, that was therapy world. In addition to the 100 research interviews specifically with wives who suspect their husbands have Asperger traits, was 25 interviews with therapists on top of that. So 125 research interviews total. And many of the research interviews my wife and I did specifically with therapists, our first 25 interviews, just researching this, learning more about it. Now, my wife is a therapist in the state of Ohio for 25 years, coming up on that. And so she was well aware of it. They were kind of all on the same page. But what I found interesting, even the people that, these are all academics, they all have their degrees, they all have therapy practices to one extent or the other. But and it's the new term neurodivergent. Did you say neurodivergent, neurodiverse? But never Asperger's. And I've had all the explanations explained to me about Asperger's. However, what I've learned, and this was maybe a couple years back, Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live and he said, I have Asperger's. And I'm like, wow, I thought that term was outdated, thought we don't use it anymore. And so, kind of long story short, what I started kind of at the tail end of my interviews is I started noticing specifically women in their 70s and 80s have had a lot of success, a high percentage of success, with if they kind of approached it with what I call the Asperger's approach, learning all about Asperger's inside and out, and then approaching that, you feel emotionally starved, your husband has all the traits that are there, but you just are, I'm sick of living with a roommate. I'm sick of just the unemotional robotic behavior of my husband. And how do I find answers to it? Well, once you have Asperger's nailed down, that you know it. Now, we developed an assessment that is now the address, if you want to take it, is assessment.aspergersapp.com. It's part of this app that I'm developing, that everything under the sun associated with Asperger's that's helped me out. In 2020, I now understand that I have Asperger's, and almost a classic case of Asperger's, what I like to refer to it as a classic case. And it does deserve its own standalone. It's got its own unique profile. It does deserve to have its own title. So that's my approach to it. If you want to really nail it down, there's 30 questions on this assessment. And this assessment was specifically designed for wives, really not at all for the person themselves. That's kind of secondary. Oh, I should have my husband take this. No, it's really for you. Wives have a front row seat. Okay, you are an eyewitness to all his quirky behaviors. When we started telling our friends about my diagnosis, it's a big, didn't believe me. No. But it kind of nailed it as far as that goes. So one of the things that I wanted to do was develop an app that was really, one of the things that men don't even try therapy with Asperger's. In men, you're just going to hit your head against the wall. I talked to a woman once, and she said, "Oh yeah, my husband goes to a therapist." And I said, "Are you sure?" Well, what do you mean? I said, "Are you sure he's going?" And she goes, "Well, he tells me he's going." And I said, "Do you have any proof of that?" And we're kind of having fun with it. And then I asked her, "Have you noticed any changes?" And there was silence. And kind of long story short with that, even if he does go, it's really and truly just to check the box. Okay, yeah, I'm going to therapy, I'm trying. And it's something that unless he acknowledges Asperger's, there's really no point in going to therapy at all anyway. And then if he does go to therapy, the therapist is part of what I call therapy world. and is not going to assign Asperger's. So they're going to try to pound autism into him, which is just not going to work. Okay, telling you. I'm sure there's isolated cases out there, but the Asperger's approach to this is totally unique. Now, what the Asperger's app is designed for is specifically for women over 50. So the sweet spot is 60s and 70s. Okay. I am telling you, the older that you get, the more phenomenal the results will be. Now, you can wait until you're 70. You can wait until you're married for whatever that might be, 40 or 50 years. I deal with women that have been married for a long period of time, say 40 years or in their 60s, early 70s, and they have just come to accept it. My husband's very successful. Interviewed a lady the other day. We live in a $3 million house. We have 6 kids, and very successful in his career. And I've just kind of, words to the effect, grown to accept it. And I was like, but you're feeling emotionally starved? And she had to just reluctantly, because once you start talking with women, once you start doing research on a specific topic, the answers just become, what the answers are going to be to different degrees before you start it. So I am an Asperger's specialist. I've talked to these women. I am Asperger's. I know how they think. I have cracked the code on getting intimacy and affection back into your marriage with Asperger's. Okay. Having husbands do thoughtful, creative, romantic, affectionate things for Valentine's Day, for your anniversary, for your birthday. Okay. It is possible. The wild thing about it is a lot of the things, I've got men that I work with, and I can say the same things to a man and kind of suggest things to him. Oh, okay. So, cool. And if a wife does it, it's nagging. It's, oh my gosh, it's this and that. So it's one of those things where therapy doesn't work, okay? And you trying to change things on your own doesn't work either. So then what? So I've created this app. I've got 3 brilliant people that I'm working with that design these type of apps, and I just wanted it to be the one resource that you could find everything you wanted to find to help you get through this situation. And if you're pulling your hair out because you're emotionally starved, step one, and if you want to download the app, the first thing is to get a little taste of it, is assessment.aspergersapp.com. The address is right there. Take that, okay? You'll have access to contact us if you'd like download instructions on the full app, but that'll get you started. And it's very exciting. I am telling you, the women that I work with just are astonished. And my wife will tell you, she's like, I'm a totally different man. A totally different man. We have our routines, we have our systems, we think we're right about everything. And it's almost like you're doing a form of jujitsu where all the things that we are, if you just learn a few little moves, okay, you can, all those forces that right now are working against you can work for you with just a few adjustments. Okay, trust me on that. So be sure to tune in. Very excited about this channel. And there's also isolated channels out there that help with Asperger's, but it's something that you really want somebody. And my sweet spot is I'm 59 years old, soon to be 59. And I've been married a long time, on the verge of divorce, my wife pulling her hair out. And this is something that it is now my life's mission to keep adding value. And I love it. I consider my ministry developing this app to help women. And it starts off with women. You got to know the system first. You got to learn the language. You got to learn how Asperger's thinks. And it's different than autism. Okay. I mean, yes, it's in the autism family, and yeah. But I'm telling you, Asperger's is a standalone, needs to be treated as a standalone neurological condition, and I can help. So anyway, be sure to check out the assessment. It's 30 questions. Might just take you 5 minutes or so. It won't take that long. And then if you want more information on downloading the full app, we have that available as well. So best of luck, no matter what situation you're in. I have heard it many times. My husband won't change. He won't change, but I'm telling you, he is willing to learn how to do new things if presented properly. Okay. There's an order to the breadcrumbs that has to be synchronized. Okay. All right. Wish you well. Talk to you soon.